Regular meeting for Thursday, April 9th, 2020. We're beginning at 6:06. Okay, let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. Stand. I hope you all are standing at home. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, very good job. Okay, roll call of directors. Director Garcia.
Present.
Director Gibson. Director Kelly.
Here.
Director Nyman is here, and Director Schoenberg. Okay. Number 2, discussion, vote, adjust agenda if necessary.
Roll call of directors. Director Garcia. Present.
I'm watching the delay on the live feed. Turn down the live feed.
Turn down your volume.
Who are you talking to?
Whoever's listening to the meeting
Or watching the meeting.
or watching the meeting, if the volume's turned up when you call in, we're hearing a delayed echo.
Okay, I just turned down mine.
Okay, thank you. Okay, if there isn't any discussion or vote, public comments. There's no public comments. Okay. Report of officers. President.
Nothing today.
The vice president has nothing.
I
Secretary.
have nothing. Secretary has nothing.
Okay, treasurer.
Yeah, I have a couple of things. So, first of all, our accounts, our payment account for the USDA got closed somehow at California Bank and Trust. So I was on the phone with them to make transfers for the USDA loans. So they made them for me per my permission. So they did give me receipts for each one. So currently everything is transferred in. The $23,585.62 for loan 6. I have each of them. The $6,806.25 for loan 3 and $17,425 for loan 4. And I had them do them as separate deposits so that it wouldn't be confusing if we're trying to track it. So Brenda from the bank is supposed to contact me tomorrow to make sure that the account actually reopens and the USDA is going to be able to access the money that's in that payment account. And then I don't know what happened. Something happened with Sherry, but according to Sherry was not there today. She was at another branch, but she did fix whatever was wrong. So hopefully between her fixing it and the money posting tomorrow, it will be back open. And then second thing is that I had not transferred. I thought I did the $50,000 from March when I was directed to transfer that at the March regular meeting. So I transferred that today. And then after speaking with Linda, which she can tell you on the financial report, but after I spoke with her, I transferred another $50,000 that will be transferred tomorrow, which is going to be for April. And she can give you the exact amount that leaves us with, but we had enough money to cut checks for next month.
Okay. Thank you, Director Schoenberg. JPIA representative.
Becky's trying.
Becky?
Can you hold on? Hold on. I heard Becky or somebody trying to say something.
Yeah.
Director
This has
Gibson.
never happened before.
You're very hard to understand.
This has never happened before, right?
No, this has happened. This has happened before. It has not happened with I don't think it's ever happened with the payment account, but it's happened with other of our zero balance accounts.
No, it did happen with the payment account when I was treasurer and we got that squared away. And so whatever reason, I don't know why this happened a second time. So that's something the bank needs to explain to us.
And
Okay.
it's happened with a couple of the other accounts too, so we need to try to really keep on them for the zero. It just happened the other day because when Linda printed out her stuff, it wasn't closed yet. So I don't know when they closed it, a couple of days ago or something.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
JP
question. Director Kelly.
Director Kelly.
Question. Does it only happen on the zero balance account?
Yes.
Yes.
I believe so.
Yes. Okay, JPI representative, do you have anything?
Nope.
Okay. Number 5, board member initiatives. Are there any board member initiatives?
I'd like to find out,
Director Kelly.
Director Kelly, I'd like to find out where the phone cell agreement is sitting in the Chamber of Commerce insurance, with the signs is sitting, and did we ever get a final read on D. Jasper's invoices?
Yes to all of those.
Those
except
are
for
not board.
They're line items. That's not really a board member initiative. Should I answer them now or?
Well, you can answer it. We'll have Johnny answer it in his report, but we're also having on the agenda to go over the agreement for the signs. So, don't we?
Is that on this one?
No.
Oh,
That's not on this agenda, is
the
it?
lease agreement.
No.
Anyway, if you don't.
No.
Oh.
But can we?
I thought the lease.
Okay, he
agreement-
can do it, Director Kelly, during his report. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now we're on to the manager's report.
So anyway, the insurance thing has not been answered because everybody at JPIA is working from home. It's hard for them to pull a lot of the records. That has not been my priority to check on that. The cell phone agreement I have had, but that's gonna require board members going over it, like Lisa when she has time to go over it. That's also something that I just have sitting in my email until she gets the opportunity to work with me on it. What was the other thing? What was the other question?
These invoices.
These invoices were worked out, which Tiffany will explain. Some of the invoices that were included were for the emergency repairs we had to do on it, so they're not stuff that's going to be reimbursed through Tulare, but Tiffany will have an update on that when we're ready to cut the check, which we figured we would talk about that at the ad hoc meeting and the phone meeting with the state and everybody on next Thursday.
Okay. I just didn't want those things getting lost.
They're not getting lost. It's all on the schedule. Other than that, well 4 burned up. The motor burned up. It's going to cost roughly, if I remember right, $4,600 to have the motor rewound. I was going to go ahead and put a brand new one on there, but a brand new one cost $2,000 more roughly, and it had a real long lead time of like 6 weeks to get it. So Bakersfield Well and Pump came up and pulled the motor, and it's down being rewound right now. So other than that, we had a big leak on March 13th. For some reason, in days of old, they decided to connect new C900 PVC pipe to a 4-inch broken steel valve, and it ruptured right in between the two, so it was a very hard fix. Managed to do it, but that's going to be something we're going to have to revisit when we do that connection the correct way. But right now with the coronavirus, that's not a priority, so that's all I got.
Can I ask?
Director Schoenberg.
I just wanted to ask if Johnny, during this, coronavirus meeting thing that we're doing, can I request that if you can send me your manager's report or send out your manager's report on PDF? Because I can't read the Word file, and I started to convert it, and I had some trouble with it.
Yeah, and I'm still thinking that the best, most effective way for you to see things is to print hard copies and give them to you, because it's hard for you to see some stuff, and it's just as easy to throw it in a packet and deliver it to you. But I can definitely save it as a PDF and send it to you that way as well.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it's easy as a PDF because I printed out a lot of the other stuff that wasn't the second board packet.
So you can't print out a Word document, is that what it is?
Yeah, I just don't have Word.
Yeah, me either.
Hey, Lee, this is Becky. You know, my opinion.
Director Gibson.
Okay, I'll go into the other room for a minute, okay? Okay, is this better?
Yes.
Much better.
Yeah, just mute.
Okay, might it be more convenient during this period when we're doing these kind of meetings, if for just this amount of time you get the material printed and given to you?
I think that's easier for us in the office trying to decide what we're going to print and what we're not going to print.
Yeah, okay, well there's that too, and then there's just, I mean, it's there. It's not like you can bring it up, or you gotta bring it up, or you gotta scroll down. It's there just for while this is going on. Might that work for you, Lisa?
I can totally understand what you were saying, but the PDF works fine. I mean, if I'm getting a bad board packet, that's fine too, but it wasn't in the board packet. There were a couple board packets, so.
No, we were just saying, rather than you having to worry about printing things or do things different, go back temporarily to the way we always did it before, print up the packets and hand deliver them to the people that are on the hill. So you're not trying to electronically download stuff using your own ink, trying to figure, you know what I mean?
Great idea.
But sometimes it's more timely getting them the other way though, getting them on, you know, it just depends on when we get the packets out.
You know, we're all staying at home lately.
Director Kelly, yeah. Tiffany gave me mine part yesterday and then part this afternoon, so I was able to go through everything and I have it here now in front of me. It's easier to read.
Exactly. Me too. Me
Okay,
too.
so why don't you guys do this? Whatever the directors want, send Tiffany an email telling her that what your preference is. If Lisa wants it in a PDF, she should get it in a PDF. They'll send it out electronically, and then the ones that want a packet delivered to them can send an email to Tiffany, and she'll take care of that. Does that work for everybody?
Yes, sir.
Works for me. You know, I would just like the meetings to go smoothly. You know,
Yeah. Okay. Administrative assistance report.
Okay, one is we got everything together and ready for that April 1st deadline for the new laws. So a lot of that has been put on the website. Cassandra has her new forms, so we are all good to go and compliant. And then the second thing I just wanted to show you, if you noticed on today's meeting, I have a meeting password on there. And the reason I did that is because there's been a lot of reports on something called Zoom bombing. And what happens is hackers are sitting at home, and what they can do is they can search for current Zoom meetings, and they'll go on there and they'll start wreaking havoc on people's Zoom meetings. Even though we're public, we still have to give access to everybody, but this way the meeting ID's out for people who look at our agendas, the meeting password's out for everybody who looks at the agenda, but somebody just sitting at home trying to wreak havoc through an app that looks for any current meetings, they won't be able to have access. So that's why it was a little bit different tonight. But I think that'll help.
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've been seeing those on the news, and I was worried about that. So thank you, Tiffany.
You're welcome. We'll play it by ear, but I did change a lot of the settings and then did this password. So at least we're compliant, and we'll give the password to any public who asks for it. It's just now that it's at least blocked from anybody, any hackers.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, and did you have a comment on
the other?
on the other with Dee's chat?
No, we'll do that on the ad hoc. It's easier to explain it that way when we have everybody on the phone.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then we'll bring it before the board for that planning meeting.
For the planning meeting. Okay. All righty. So number 7, ad hoc committee reports. Meeting of local water companies.
I'm guessing that's.
Nothing.
Okay.
That was canceled for now.
Okay. Sigma, nothing. Depreciation of assets, nothing. Project committee.
That's the general title for,
That's
we've
all.
been doing ad hocs with Lisa on planning project or meter replacement project or looking over wells, and that kind of encompasses all that. So if there's any reports on any of the projects.
We do. We had a phone call, Director Brett.
Would you like to go ahead and do that, Director Schoenberg? The phone call?
Sure. We just we had a ad hoc phone call with the our attorney and also Self-Help Enterprises and also our engineer to try to figure out some of the wording in terms of well, some of it's on the agenda today. So basically, in order to look at the license agreement beforehand, which is on the agenda, to talk about the survey report, which our engineer was interested in going over, but which we had already approved at a previous meeting, and also to talk about the property appraisals, and also the technical assistance agreement. So a little bit of each of those, I believe, were touched on at that phone meeting, and then we do have each of those items on the agenda. So, but Director Nyman and I were able to look at each of those items ahead of time so that we can give you our okay on that. On those items.
So when we get to there, we'll cover that. Okay. Is Linda on the phone?
Not yet. I did ask her, and she said she'd jump on this meeting as soon as she was done with her other meeting.
Okay. So let's. I'll entertain a motion that we table accounts payable and financial information until at such time we'll go back to it once Linda comes back on the phone.
Okay, I'd like to, Director Nyman?
Yes. Director Schoenberg.
Director Schoenberg, I'd like to move that we table the account payable item number 8 and financial information until such time as our bookkeeper arrives. We will
I'll second that.
Okay, Director Garcia has seconded that. Roll call of directors. Director Garcia.
Aye.
Director Gibson.
Aye.
Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Nyman's an aye. Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried, 5-0-0. Okay, we'll move on to number 9, discussion and vote on purchasing dirt and road base to repair roads.
Okay, you guys wanted a cost on per load. The trucks we order they bring 16 yards at a time, and it's for 16 yards. If I was just going to order one shipment, it would be $720 plus tax, $720 plus tax. But that's the top end price. Since we're going to need several loads just for Elm Trail alone, the price may come down some, because I think that Elm Trail is going to need at least 5. truckloads. So now you guys have to decide if you want to just leave it to my discretion to start fixing the roads or set a dollar amount, per month for trying to fix some of these trails that need it really bad. However you want to handle it.
Question.
Director Garcia.
Okay, Johnny, from what the rough numbers you just said, that's about $4,000. $4,000 for the 5 loads. You think that Elm Trail would be a worst case scenario?
It is definitely in the top worst case scenarios, yeah, because we have pipes that are physically fully exposed in several places up and down, and the worst thing is that there's big dips in the center of the road, and we got to fill them in to try to stop the erosion. But we also, to do it right and make this a little more cost efficient, we need to get a roller and a water truck too to make it better. But in the meantime, we can just do the best we can, because it's so bad now, people are going to wind up running over our pipes and breaking them.
Do you have access to fire hydrant and fire hose in our equipment inventory?
Yeah, I mean, we do, but it's, I suppose we could do it that route. It's not, definitely not a most time effective way to do it, but I suppose we can make do with that.
Though.
Huh?
I said, but probably the cheapest.
It could be, but opening and closing the hydrants over and over again, then we run the risk of water hammer and rupturing and get leaks while we're doing it too in the meantime, because some of the hydrants aren't as good as where I would fill up. Normally I would fill up either right here by the office or by the post office. If we start jumping around to the closest hydrant to get lines, we got to open and close it a lot.
So what are you saying, that that's detrimental to our system's condition?
It absolutely causes more leaks. The last time we did that, we did it down on West End Trail, and we were standing there with Greg, and when the hydrant closed, we looked up, and about a block and a half away, there was a giant Rainbird sprinkler in the sky. Because when you shut it off, the pressure's got to go somewhere.
Right. I got it. I'm willing to move that we give Johnny a monthly allotment, let's say capped at $5,000 or whatever the board thinks, to use at his discretion for covering pipes due to natural occurrences such as storms and erosion, in order to protect and maintain our water line and infrastructure as needed.
Okay, quick question on
Director
that.
Schoenberg.
Well, first of all, I guess in order to talk about it, I actually need to second the motion. So I'm going to second the motion, and then I have some questions.
Okay, now we're open. The motion has been seconded by Director Schoenberg. Now it's open for discussion. Director Schoenberg,
Okay,
did you?
Yeah, so first question, so that would, if we did say a set amount of 5,000, is that going to be able to cover having the water, water truck, or is it going to be more than that for say Elm Trail?
Well, I wouldn't rent a water truck. I'd rent a little water buffalo trailer, but with the set amount, I'm also going to get a price to see what it would cost Santana to bring his stuff in. He may have access to road base, which could be cheaper. And the last time I had him fix a road, it turned out to be cheaper because he's already got the equipment. Part of our issue is it's also time heavy, because all the valve cans that have been set in the road when it was washed out are too low. So that means they have to be hand dug and raised, or we cover up the valve cans. So plus the ideal equipment to fix these roads is going to be a blade, which is something that we don't own. So I'll get a quote from Santana and see if that's the better way to go than having us do it ourselves with the limited tools that we have.
I'll accept that friendly amendment.
Okay, second question, just that,
Director Schoenberg.
someone else? I thought I heard someone else trying to ask something.
Well, go
Go
ahead.
ahead, Lisa, and then I'll ask mine.
Okay, so second question, I just wanted to have an estimate of about how long you think, I know you can't say this for sure because it's based on storms and everything else, but about how long do you think laying the road base down lasts on, say, Elm Trail?
Hey, there's absolutely no way to even guesstimate something like that. If we don't have more storms, it's gonna last till at least next winter. If we do have more storms, it causes less damage. If it's road base packed down than dirt, it doesn't get washed away as readily. But there's no way I would even hazard to predict something that's such an unknown. All I do know is that all those pipes exposed and the major ruts and everything on that road have to be fixed regardless of how long it lasts. So we just gotta fix it.
I was just trying to figure out how often we might have to do this, and if that's going to be enough money to cover, if it's that much to basically cover one trail, then what, if we're going to be able to rotate enough to cover the trails we most need.
Well, you got to understand that there's a huge number of trails that we don't have to do because they're not steep inclines. They wash out worse, and a lot of those I take care of myself just by going up with the Gannon box and regular dirt and fixing it. It's just the steeper trails that wash out so drastically. And then it didn't help on Elm when somebody tried to sandbag and it caused these major waterfalls all up and down. That did more erosion than it normally does. Plus, this has been an ongoing thing that I've been battling for the last 11 years, is Elm Trail, and trying to not add dirt and just try to steal dirt from other corners and other parts of the road doesn't do you any favors in the long run. So I think it's going to last for a while, but there's no way I'd hazard a guess.
No, because we could have
Director.
floods in the summer.
Director Gibson.
We could have floods in the summer, And the other thing I wanted to say is, since this is becoming such a huge problem, we have an immediate need that we need to do right now. And in a unique situation is we can't have like a public meeting, but I think that this is like a public concern that it's not the responsibility of the water company. And eventually we won't be able to, and they have to figure out, and the community probably to figure out what to do, and I've had,
Director Gibson, I think you need to abstain from this conversation.
I'm thinking this something to do, you're right. Sorry.
Yeah, I think you need to abstain from this conversation.
Besides that, the only trails that we're talking about, and just so you know, I mean, this isn't going to be something that I'm going to be every month just doing randomly. I'm going to find the worst trails and try to fix them as time permits with the crew. The first most pressing one is obviously Elm Trail, so we're going to do that. And then I will find the next one that's the worst one with the most exposed pipes and then do that. It could only be a 2-month deal, or it could be just a 1-month deal. It depends on how much time my crew has or what the bid comes in from Santana. So we'll see what it takes to do a road and the cost wise, and then you can reevaluate the monthly that you're willing to spend for the next trail that we do. It might be less, it might, who knows.
I think that's a great amendment to my motion.
Okay, Director Kelling, did you have something you wanted to add?
Yeah, I was just wondering if there was going to be an end date to this. But now that's what we're talking about.
Okay. I did have one question. I know that at some point we were talking about possibly paving that part of Elm Trail, but this is further up, or? Well,
no, I stopped even considering that when liability became an issue, and what if somebody slides into the road and all that, and it's just not practical, and it would cost a lot of money to get the attorney to come up here and give an opinion, which I still think I've discovered it don't matter if there's a legal basis for a lawsuit or not. I mean, you still have the cost of defending lawsuits that don't have any backing to it. So we just decided not to do that. I decided that it wasn't worth pursuing the asphalt because of the sliding issue with the snow. As for an end date of fixing the roads, never gonna end. We always got to do it, but the cost of it is mitigated by me going out doing stuff when I have time and using dirt that I acquire on the mountain. It's just the worst trails need to be fixed now with outside bringing in dirt.
Yeah, but the motion was to give you $5,000 a month, and
Yeah,
there wasn't an end date, and that's what I was wondering about.
Well, you guys always have an end date, the authority to end something like that. You know, when the bills start getting too much, you tell me to stop.
Well, why don't we, and this is up to whoever made the motion, why don't we just look at approving the amount for Elm Trail at this point? And then Johnny can look and tell us the next meeting if he wants to work on another trail, or, you know, and then we can approve them as they come up. We can approve them, and that way there's, you know, more oversight and more control on this.
Point of information here.
Yeah, what's that, Director Garcia?
Point of information.
Yeah.
Yes, I'd like to state that this is merely a starting point. We're starting something that we haven't been doing regular or as part of our day-to-day business, and I think it's a good place to start. And like Johnny says, keep it on the agenda. We review it whenever we need to, once a month at a minimum, and see exactly what he's spending and what he comes back with comparing what he has put together in the way of an estimate versus Santana. But as I hear it, as I read what he's saying, hear what he's saying, we have an immediate emergency now to take care of Elm Trail for starters.
Right. So what I'm saying is,
Garcia, hold on. Can we remove that motion? I would like to take my second back and just, if that's the issue, and we can just have direct Johnny to get a quote from Santana and look at this first trail and then go from there.
Well, isn't it better just to approve?
Some work done now.
Yeah.
yeah. So my thing is we should maybe we should approve the road base amount and Johnny get a quote. Part of the amendment could be Johnny getting a quote from Santana and doing whichever one is cheaper.
That's fine. I'll accept that friendly amendment.
Well, the reason I was removing is the motion just got really floppy, so I was just gonna see if you could
Right.
restate the motion.
So if Director Garcia would be willing to restate the motion.
Affirmative.
Would you?
I move that we approve I move that we authorize Johnny to get two comparable quotes, one that he will self-generate based on what he knows about purchasing and renting equipment, versus having Santana come in and do the work on Elm Trail specifically at this time. Once we have that accomplished and have the information to compare to, then we will decide we'll either continue to do it in-house or bring Santana in for future use.
And you didn't mention an amount on that, a cap.
So our manager already has a $10,000 cap on his expenditures from years ago, so I'm just going to leave that alone.
So yeah, Okay, I'll second that motion.
But then that's not giving him authorization to do the work.
Yeah, that's the first one is gonna be authorize them to go forward with whichever one he feels is more cost effective. And
You
then
didn't
we'll
say
see the
that,
results.
Director Garcia, you didn't say that. Can you restate the motion so that it's clear to everyone?
Okay, here we go again. I move that we authorize our manager, Johnny Allison, to make the needed repairs on Elm Trail based on his comparison and estimate of what it would take to do it in-house versus what it would take to have Santana contract to do the work.
With road base.
With road base, and we can evaluate that in the coming months.
Okay, do I hear a second?
Okay, one more time, I'll second that motion.
Okay, roll call of directors. Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Abstain.
okay, Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Nyman's and I, Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried, 4-0-1, one abstention. Okay, moving on, number 10, vote Lakewood Consolidation Planning Project. A, discussion, on vote, on quotes for property appraisals for the test well sites.
Let me see, do we got them in here?
No, we don't have the appraisals. He said it was like 12,000 for all.
There's two
Right?
two quotes, and I'm assuming we're going for the
Yeah, it
last.
wasn't sent any of the
No.
appraisals.
Okay, let's table
Can
that.
I speak to that?
Yes, Director Schoenberg, go ahead and speak to that.
Okay, so during the ad hoc meeting that we had last week, we talked about this. There were two companies that gave quotes. One was a little bit more expensive in the $12,000 range for the three properties. One was a little bit less in the $11,000 range. The $12,000 one was from a company that's pretty well known in Bakersfield. The second one was a national company, and it was less expensive. So Dee was interested in going with the second company. I don't recall their name.
Assurance.
I don't have it in front of me.
Assurance.
What is it?
Assurance.
Assurance. So anyway, he was interested in going with the second company, so we just need to vote on whether we're okay with him going forward on that. And he explained that it would be all three properties that they would be appraising. And the way that they appraise that, it would be both for with both possibilities. One would be an easement, because that's probably all we're gonna possibly get on the Saya property.
A permanent
The
easement.
other two, a permanent easement, and the second two would most likely be for a purchase. If Saya wanted us to purchase, it doesn't matter, because the price is the same on the appraisals for both situations, because basically they take what you're trying to use on the site as opposed to the footage of the site in total, and then give an appraisal for the portion that you're actually trying to use. So it wouldn't make a difference as to whether it's an easement or a purchase. So I would recommend that we go ahead and allow Dee to hire the second company that was a little less expensive. It's a national company to do our appraisals.
Was there any discussion on this?
I have a question.
Director
What
Kelly.
would that cost us? I didn't understand.
It costs the state. The state. It's part of the funding agreement with the state. The state would pay it.
Okay.
It's about 11,000 something. It's under 12,000 for the first one was slightly over 12,000. The second appraiser was slightly under 12,000.
Oh, okay, that's what I got you, Lisa, now. Okay.
So if there's no further discussion, I will entertain a motion.
I don't want to take this motion because I'm part of the ad hoc. I sort of feel like, we're here to explain it to you, the rest of the board, and then really the rest of the board should make the motion and second it.
10-4, copy that. I'll make that motion.
Okay, Director Garcia?
Yes, I move that we approve the appraisals by the second company of Deed that Deed referred us to for the 3 parcels.
Okay, do I hear a second?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, Director Kelling has seconded the motion. Okay, roll call of directors. Director Garcia.
Aye.
Director Gibson. Director Gibson?
Aye.
Okay. Director Kelling.
Aye.
Director Nyman's an aye. Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried, 5-0-0. Okay, B, discussion vote on geophysical survey report. Didn't we approve that last,
Did I speak to that again?
Yes, Director Schoenberg.
Okay, again, this was discussed as part of the ad hoc. There are actually sort of 2 parts to this. So one is the actual geophysical survey we received from the survey company itself. And we already addressed that, and we basically didn't feel that we were, scientists or we could really take that apart. So we went ahead and approved it for use, and that was actually passed on to SEA, to their representative Nathan. He had promised Nathan that he would be, that once that survey was done, as long as we approved the survey, that would be passed on right away to Nathan so that they could see what was going on with that property. And then it also includes, of course, the other properties, but Nathan was the one. The other 2 property owners weren't interested in looking at it. So that was the first part. So we had already approved that at a previous
Board meeting.
meeting, I think our planning meeting last time. And then the second part of this is that Dee and in conjunction with Ken Schmidt, they're supposed to come up with a sort of written report that summarizes the geophysical survey, and that is not, I don't believe that we've received that yet, so we can't vote on that, so that we would want to carry over.
Is that what we got in our packet?
We got the original geophysical survey, which
last meeting.
No, what did we get in our packet this time, Tiffany?
It's
I got
the geophysical
something that said Subsurfaces Survey and Associates Incorporated.
That's it.
That's it.
It's just all the technical aspects of the
With the
survey.
map.
It's what we're talking about. It's all the technical aspects of the survey. What Lisa was talking about is they could break it down in layman's terms at a later date that you guys will have to discuss doing. But this one right here is what it is. It's the technical survey and the results.
And we already,
Okay.
approved that at a previous meeting. We already approved it, so it was already given to SEA, and it has already been given to whoever else. I believe it was also given to the state already.
Okay, I got a question
Director Kelling.
on page 3 on the under discussion and it's in the 3rd paragraph. One of the lines says this type of map will be useful for selecting a well site on the Boys Ranch property. Shouldn't that say SEA?
Again, it's not us to dictate anything. The people that did the survey, for that's what they called it, because that's what Saya bought it for, was the Boys Ranch. So we didn't worry about changing typos because it's their interpretation and their results. If we want that stuff corrected and fixed when Dee does his study or his breakdown of the study later on, we can make changes to that.
Okay.
Now, Tiffany, you're saying we didn't approve it?
There was no vote on the survey, no.
I think we were talking and we just said that we were okay with the survey.
Yes, because you said that it was not something that anybody would change, because it is what it is. It's a
Right.
technical survey.
Right.
That's what we said at the meeting.
Yeah, so, okay. Okay, number C, discussion, vote on license agreement for the test well sites.
Okay, can I address this again? Sorry.
Sure, Director Schoenberg.
Okay, once again, we discussed this as part of the ad hoc. We discussed it at some length with our attorney. Our attorney made some changes. They're the ones that were in red. And I looked it over, but Director Nyman, can you confirm that all of the changes that we had agreed to were there?
I don't really know, to be honest with you. I know that we told him all the stuff in red that he was to change. I don't have anything on me right now. I know that we didn't make any real changes other than that one line. Hold on just a second.
Tiffany, this is the most current one that was sent to us, right? This isn't the original license agreement. This is the second one after we had the ad hoc.
This is the only one I got.
So we haven't received this back from him yet.
Okay, so that's a problem. That's what I wanted to get that from you. I just wasn't sure because it looked like it wasn't updated. So can we carry that over to make sure that we should have? I believe it was supposed to get sent to us, and I don't know if you received that, Director Nyman.
I didn't receive anything. We didn't receive anything back from the lawyer.
Okay.
I know that Dee sent him an email telling him to go ahead and make the changes we discussed and the ones in red that he had signed. I know that he sent them an email, but I haven't received anything back from the attorney yet.
So I think we can do one of two things. We can either vote on this in principle or in concept,
We got one on April 6th from Dee or Alan. I'm trying to open it right now. See who was CC'd in it.
I believe that's the one that isn't that the date of the ad hoc?
No, the ad hoc was on the 3rd.
April 6th is 3 days ago.
That was Monday.
Okay, so then that's the most current one.
Okay, let me print that out real quick for Alan.
I'm not in any of the email loops, so I get holes in the information I get. I can only give to you what I'm emailed.
Well, of course,
unfortunately.
that's
Yeah.
understandable.
So, Johnny, we need to make sure that Tiffany's part of that email loop when they send when we, if we forget.
I try to always do that. I literally am fielding 200 emails a day now because all the COVID stuff and all this stuff's happening, and I do, rest assured, try to always include everybody that needs it to have it be included. Every once in a while you drop it though.
Yeah, Director Nyman and I will try to remember to to check to see if it's being forwarded as well.
Yeah, we did get it on Monday.
You did?
Yeah, but I didn't print it out. I don't.
Okay, it's coming to the printer right now. Well, it's hard to do anything with all the electronics going on. It's hard to do anything.
We're using a lot of that.
So you're saying you got that on the 6th, because I don't see it in my
You're on it.
You're included too. The
On
only one,
April 3rd.
the only one not included
April
was
3rd was the first. The April 3rd was when Dee sent it to Alan, and then Alan replied April 6th. So it probably be, you probably need to look at April 3rd and find Dee's, and it's probably in that email chain.
It'll be on April 6th as well.
Well, it should. Or
Half will be there on the 3rd. The response from Alan will be on the 6th. But the only one not included was Tiffany.
Well, I only see the 3rd.
Well, I don't know why you didn't get it because I have it on mine. So, and you are CC'd on it. Okay.
So are you forwarding that out again, or I mean, do you think this has to be approved tonight, or can we wait on?
I think we were trying to get it cranked out and get it approved so we could start making the agreements with people and start trying to do stuff. But that's just my own understanding.
Okay, I can go through the changes basically. Okay, number C, they changed the wording. It says SIA owns real property near Fraser Park, California, which the district has identified as a potentially suitable, and that's new words in there, location for a new water supply of the well for the district. Then on D, it says the district desires to secure the right of access to and use of SIA's property to perform tests to determine if it's feasible to locate a future water supply well on said property. And then he changed on F. Okay, he deleted F completely, that particular one. So G became F, and it says if the district determines suitable water supplies are present within the license area defined below, which they'll put the definition of the property. District might pursue acquisition of certain portions of license of the, of the license area from SIA as set forth herein. And then it goes on to the agreement.
Well, you forgot the other one. It says, now, therefore, in conclusion.
Right, I'm not reading the whole. I'm not reading the whole document. I'm just reading the changes that he made. Okay.
And that's what one of the changes that he made. He put in another paragraph. You don't have that?
Oh yeah.
Or
Yeah.
that's,
Okay. Yeah.
that's taken
I'm
out.
sorry. I apologize. Now, therefore, in consideration of the recitals cited above, and for valuable consideration, the receipt and sufficiency of which are hereby acknowledged, the parties mutually agrees as follows. Now, this is the agreement. And then, SIA hereby grants a district a temporary license into SIA's property. It got rid of real. Described on Exhibit A here too, for the limited purposes of construction, operation, and maintenance of the test well in location denoted on Exhibit B to determine whether acceptable quality water is available for new water supply for the well district. Then number 2 is the same. 3, the license is for a term of 5 years. Provided district must construct its test well during one period of not to exceed 120 consecutive days. So, and provide at least 2 weeks written notice to SIA prior to any construction. So that's just telling us that we're gonna do the test well, and it's not gonna take us more than 120 days to do the test well. We're giving, number 4 is the fee, which is granting the license fee, which is $5,000 prior to the start of the 120-day period. Reimbursement by the district of any and all damages to SIA property caused by the work of district pursuant to license which is not remedied or otherwise repaired by the district. Let's see. So there was no changes. There was no changes throughout the rest. Well, I'm looking here. Okay.
No, I had also requested at the top, which you made that change. I actually have it. I have it from the 3rd. It's weird. It didn't meet. So somehow I don't have the other thread, but I have this on something he sent on the 3rd. So I requested that he put our full address, which he didn't have, which he has done.
Right. Yeah, he added the address in. Yes. That's
Not the physical address.
Yeah, he added the physical address.
Oh,
in.
he did it? Okay.
Yes.
I forwarded it again to you, Lisa.
Yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay, I'm going to look right now. Hold on.
And
Is this license agreement strictly for SIA and no one else?
No, it would be changed.
it would be changed accordingly with the different properties. But he just put SIA in there for this particular agreement. It'll be the same agreement for all. The only we may make changes because we're not paying. Are we paying them $5,000? I don't think we agreed to pay $5,000 to the other ones, did we?
I think it's going to be the same agreement for the ones we do, but we're only initially planning on doing 2.
Right.
And not the 3rd choice. So.
So then Tiffany would have to retype this whole thing and put in the Wainwright property?
She would not. I'm sure that Alan would do that for us.
Well, I mean, it's real simple though to do a replace on a Word document. It's not a problem changing some of that stuff. I mean, we could get it done. Whoever does it.
What's your point?
Okay, so information sharing. Okay, and so number 9 is the most important. This one, option to construct water supply. This number 9, production well. If it is determined by the district that sufficient water is available from the licensed area, district will have the option for 5 years from the date of the expiration of the term of this license to obtain from SIA a well site to be used for a water supply production well and related facilities with a maximum capacity of 1,000 gallons per minute. District must provide written notice to see if it is intent to exercise the option on or before the expiration of 5 years from the date of the expiration of the term of the license. The agreed upon value of the property interest the district will acquire will be determined by an independent appraiser agreeable to both parties to this license.
So again, because we were part of the ad hoc and we discussed with the attorney the changes to be made to this, I think it'd be a great idea if one of the other board members moved that we approve this if you're okay with it, and also if it be seconded by another board member.
One thing I'm looking for. Term.
I will move.
Well, hold on a second, please. Just if you would wait for just a second, Director Gibson. Lisa, where on here did it say that we would purchase? Because didn't the other agreement have that we were going to purchase or permanent?
Right, that's gonna be changed in there if, depending on the form that it's gonna take. It said purchase the property. If they don't want us to purchase the property, we would get the permanent easement, and then they would change that around.
Right, but originally on it, didn't it say either or?
Yeah, it said either or, and I thought that they were going to put easement first, and then if they weren't agreeable to an easement, then it would be, or yeah, I think it said either or.
But I don't see it on here. That's what I'm looking.
Does that matter if we change it according to?
Well,
I mean, whatever they agree to, that's what it'll be said, and we would have the attorney put the actual verbiage in there for it, but.
Communication, information sharing, insurance.
I would imagine
Yeah.
that SEA may have some potential changes to this as well.
Yeah, let me see what it said here. I'm confused because I didn't.
Yeah, I almost think that this is not. I mean, it looks, well, it has to be the final one because it has the change on the address. So
Yeah, no, it is the final one. I'm confused because I don't see it on the previous one either. So I don't know what I was looking at.
yeah, it was on the one that we looked at in the ad hoc. It had either option.
Agreed upon value of the present interest will be determined by an independent appraiser review of both priority.
Well, on number 9, it says on there,
Well, yeah, it says it to
the
construct.
ownership or a permanent easement.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, that is right there. But is it on the new one? Let me see. Is it maybe I miss? Here's a seal.
Oh, that's right. I don't have the current one.
Production. Well, that's missing from here, Lisa.
Yeah, it's missing.
And we didn't tell him to change that.
No. Yeah, so we can't vote on this yet. I mean, we can vote on it in principle, but he needs to adjust it. So.
Can't you?
Well, we had told him to get rid of. I think they decided to get rid of Exhibit C.
Can't you approve it with amendments with the attorney so we can get it rolling?
Yes, we can get it approved, but on contingent on us working with the attorney one more time to fix the wording that's missing, and then.
Because what he's missing is a fee ownership or a permanent easement for the well site. He took that out. I don't know why he took that out.
It just says to obtain from SEA a well site, so it doesn't say how or how. What.
That seems like a small thing, considering that he's gonna. I mean, if you want him to put it back in there, maybe there's a reason he left it out. But you could approve it and just say, okay, have him do it, and then we could verify that he puts it back in the way you want.
I already said that. We can vote on this contingent on any other amendments that the ad hoc can work with the attorney on that.
Okay.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
So we can approve it in principle, and then there may be some additional wording.
The only reason I said what I did was because you guys getting the time and the schedule to do the ad hoc to call him, I thought was a little more problematic than just saying, I want that back in there, and then, you know, we make sure that it gets included. That's the only reason I was bringing it up.
No, I don't think that's a good idea, because we need to know why he took it out. He may have had a good reason for it.
Okay.
So, I'm entertaining a motion.
Okay. Director Kelly, I'll move that we approve the license agreement in principle with the amendments that the ad hoc would like to see put back into the agreement.
Okay, do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, Director Garcia has seconded it. Okay, roll call of directors. Director Garcia.
Can you read that? Can you, I'm sorry, are you able to, can you read that back? Did you write that down, Tiffany?
Like half of it, but not all of it.
Okay.
So,
She can restate it.
you want to restate it, Director Kelly?
Okay. I move that we approve the license agreement in principle with the amendments that the ad hoc would like to see put back in.
On number 9 of the agreement.
Well, to me, see, I don't think that wording, I think it would be better if you just said to approve it in principle with any amendments that may be agreed upon by the ad hoc, with the further amendments that may be agreed upon by the ad hoc and the attorney. Because if you say that we want to see it put back in, then it needs to be put back in, but he may have a reason why it's not there.
Okay, would you be willing to restate that amendment, Director Kelly?
Okay. Third time's a charm.
Yes.
I move. What's that, Becky?
Director Gibson? What? I can't hear you, Director Gibson.
I was affirming. You go, girl. Third time's a charm.
All right, thank
Okay.
you, Director Gibson.
Okay. Director Kelling again. I move that we approve the license agreement for now I've forgotten. I move that we approve in principle the license agreement
The test well site.
with changes if made by the ad hoc.
Between the attorney and the ad hoc.
Yes, in those words.
Okay, do I hear a second?
Yeah, I second that.
Okay, now roll call of directors. Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Nymans and I, Director Schoenberg. Okay, D, discussion vote on draft technical assistance agreement with Self-Help Enterprises. Huh?
500 motion.
Oh, I'm sorry, 500 motion carried. I got delayed, okay. 10D, discussion vote on draft technical assistance agreement with funds. You wanna go?
Director Nyman, I
Yes.
wanted to let you know that Linda has logged on.
Okay, all right, well, let's finish this one item. Director Schoenberg, did you wanna talk about the ad hoc on this one?
Okay, so again, again, this is a technical assistance agreement, so it's not really, you know, we would be again approving it in principle, but it's really coming from self-help. So self-help would be paying for what is included on this. So this is the I'm sorry, this is the engineering budget for a study to determine, correct?
Yeah, so this basically we're authorizing Self-Help Enterprises to do the technical assistance agreement to add on things that were not covered on our Lake of the Woods planning project, and D has some extra things that needed to be done. So Self-Help Enterprises was going to go to the state and ask for more money to be able to for D to do the work, so that we don't have to take it out of contingency of our program of our agreement that we have for Lake of the Woods consolidation project.
So what it does is it adds some engineering work. It adds the survey and mapping, so that that's not coming out of, that would be coming out of self-help. The legal services, test well plans and specifications, and so that's one amount, and then this other part is part of it as well, or that's a second part, the engineering budget to study to determine the appropriate connection rate.
What's that?
So there's also a second part of this, which is the budget.
Right, but that's not part. Yeah, but yeah. I'm not sure that I'm not sure that he was adding that in. I know that he was adding in D's work for the $1,000 we paid Saya, I believe it was, and then other, like you said, the surveys. So
again, you know, I think just
I think we just need to approve it. I mean, because it's something that they need to go forward with to get us more money.
right.
It's not like we have to look at the agreement or anything. Self-Help Enterprises will be doing the paperwork and going to the state and getting the agreement. So I'll entertain a motion that we just approve Self-Help Enterprises drafting a technical assistance agreement
With our engineer.
through our engineer.
Or to pay our engineer.
Yes, to pay our engineer.
For money that's not included in the project.
So can I entertain a motion? No director wants to make a motion?
I will make the motion, Mrs. Gibson,
Director Gibson, go ahead.
that we, accept the draft technical assistance agreement with self-help as part of its contributing.
You're impossible to hear. Can you, are you sick, Becky? No, I think it's a connection issue.
Yeah.
Can you?
I don't know how to get it in the best part. Is that better?
Yes.
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 I will make a motion that we accept the draft for the technical assistance agreement with self-help as their contribution to it.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. So roll call of directors. Director Garcia.
Aye.
Director Gibson.
Aye.
Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Nyman is an aye. Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried, 500. Okay, at this time, we will return to, number 8, accounts payable and financial information. Welcome, Linda. You're on. Linda?
Okay, I'm there. I had myself muted. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. Total cash and cash equivalents is $1,829,965.89. The revenue account as of March 31, 2020, balance was $262,375.20. The total of the disbursements for the accounts payable for tonight is $38,512.26, and it's high because there were no checks cut at the meeting, the special meeting that we had at the end of March. The bank balance after these checks are cut and prior to the transfer for the emergency fund and for the USDA loans, which are going to come out on the 15th. There's another issue there, which I will mention in a moment, but the balance is $229,558.49. And in regards to the transfer for the loan, USDA loan payment, the bank, and you may have already been aware, the bank actually closed that account, and Lisa is actually working on finding out why and getting them to reopen the account. I know she was on the phone with them today, so I don't know the results yet of that. The amounts, the total amount for the loans to be transferred over is $4,816.87, and then emergency fund for last month would be $50,000, and then there's enough revenue or enough cash to do another $50,000 for April, which will get us, we're getting close to the recommendations. So that's all I have for my report.
Okay.
So Linda, I had addressed that in my report at the beginning of the meeting in my treasurer's report. So I did, they did give me receipts for each of the transfers. I had them do 3 separate transfers.
Perfect.
And I have receipts, but I won't know that everything's okay until I receive a call from the bank tomorrow to let me know that they actually posted correctly, because the account is still not open, so there's no way to tell until it shows up in the account tomorrow, and then hopefully that'll be fine. And because the USDA shouldn't be taking out the money immediately tomorrow, we should be good as long as it reopens the account.
Okay.
And then I did.
USDA doesn't take out the money until the 15th, so we should be good. And it's 15th.
Right, and then I already transferred the other 2 emergency amounts. So I transferred one today, which has already gone through for $50,000, and one goes through tomorrow.
Okay, sounds perfect. Thank you.
So we are, because I'm this balance sheet is as of March 31st. This is 8 days later. I just want to make sure that we're clear, because you've transferred $100,000 to your contingency fund, and then you're also having $100,000.
No, not to the contingency fund, to the emergency.
Oh, I mean to the emergency fund. You've transferred $100,000, and then we're having what is the total on that's coming out on the 15th?
$47,816.87.
Oh, okay. So that's 147. And then what is our current? What did you say our current bills were that we're approving tonight, Linda?
Okay, so the total that we're approving tonight is $38,512.26.
Okay.
After all of those, and it's after $741.62.
Okay, that's all I wanted to be clear on. Okay, that sounds good to me. Okay, so, Director Schoenberg, you had a question on,
Yeah, I had a couple of questions. So, one of them was our bad debt. I was looking at the year-to-date bad debt, and it was $92,000, and I sort of felt that seemed to be a little bit high. A lot high.
You know, I looked at that too, and I'm going, okay, what's going on here? 94,000 of that happened. I think when they had to go back in and clean a bunch of the records, maybe Tiffany will recall that, and because I had questioned it at that time, and so the rest of it is just the timing issue. But 94,000 of that happened back in, I think it was August or September, or something like that.
It would have been 94,000 because I think it was only 92 as of March. So,
Yeah, whatever it was 90-something thousand that it was that we had to make an adjustment for.
those would show up as journal entries, or where can I find what that is?
Okay, yeah, if we were in the office, I could just print it out, that line, and it would show you, but, I believe, you know, I'm not sure where you would be able to see it, but,
I don't believe the auditors made that big of a change, $97,000. It was just moving stuff around.
It wasn't an auditor thing. It was something through the system. The system did it, so I questioned it at that time, and I can't remember the details of it.
No, I think we need to get you to maybe come in and print out what you got on that, and to show us, and then we'll look at it, because Tiffany and Cassandra, they don't remember any big changes amounting to that much. We only write off bad debt, which is, you know, a few $100. I don't think it amounted to $90,000.
Well, it's a few thousand, but
no, the actual amount, like for this month, was only like I think 900 or 800, and I know it's a timing thing.
Well, what I'm saying is
it wouldn't have been that much.
That's the most it is most of the times. There's no way that Cassandra went in there and had the computer write off, you know, $90,000. It would have been a topic.
There wasn't, and I cannot remember what it was here, but I will go back and find it. But it was, in fact, if you look at the report, if you can see the report, there is the journal entries page, and then right underneath that page is the spreadsheet that shows every month, and it's on that spreadsheet. And that
I was having trouble seeing that, and I didn't get a print. I purposely didn't get a printout, but I guess I should have. So I just want everyone to kind of remember that, so that I can go back and just make sure that that there's not a mistake in there.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, and if you could look at that, and maybe, Linda, what I'd like you to do is to, when you come in here, to look it up and get the information and then bring it to the next board meeting, so that we know exactly what it is, because I think it's too big a number. It's too big a number not to know exactly what that is, and it seems a little out of sync. So.
No, I agree. So, okay, 90,000 plus. I will check that out. Again, it's coming back. I think it happened in July or August, something like that. And it was not from the auditors. It was from the system.
No, I disagree that there's no way that system generated $90,000 right off. There's obviously an input error.
Tiffany, can we just put that on the agenda for next regular meeting? And in the meantime, we'll try to figure out what that is, just so we can remember, and so that we can try to resolve and explain that.
You want it on the May meeting or the 2 weeks?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
I think. Oh, you want it on the 2 weeks? Okay.
I
that's fine.
would like us to resolve it quickly.
Okay. Okay, and then
Sounds good.
my second question, Linda, had to do with the utilities in the financial. There was previously the gas for up year to date was $560.71 on last year's, and then this year it showed $22.48, but it had a separate line called other for $555.51. So I'm
Okay.
wondering what that
I will
was.
check that. It sounds like it didn't get into the sub account, just into the main account, and so it just went under utility, so it hit into other, so I have to make sure that the entries went into the sub account of gas.
Okay, yeah.
Right, because we had 2 months, this month is $104, and last month's gas bill was $114, so, you know, that,
Right, so, but if you add the two, the 555.51 and the 22.48, it's probably correct year to date, but it, because it compares pretty closely to last year, but it's just that it broke it into two categories, the gas
Yeah.
and other, and so I was confused about other.
Yeah, normally I catch those, but I was there until 2 in the morning and I missed it, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, I get it right now, I almost missed it, so.
okay, so,
So yeah, those were my main questions, and some of the stuff I couldn't read well because I didn't print it out. I was just looking at it on my computer, so I'll get a printout of that for next month.
okay, and Director Kelly, after this meeting, I'd like to come by and just get you to sign the checks once we approve them, when the meeting is over.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
and then the ones that need 3 signatures, I'll drive up to Lisa's house and have her sign, and then I'll take them and I'll get them in the mail by tomorrow. Good. So, okay, so I would entertain a motion that we pay our bills.
I don't know. A quick question before we do that.
Okay, Director Schoenberg.
I believe, do we have in the policy who's actually supposed to be taking the mail to the post office? Because I think if we do, we need to amend it in light of the current crazy situation we're in. I believe it used to be the president, and then at some point it is to the treasurer.
But the president's not, Tiffany.
So it's not in any written policy. The only place we wrote it in was we created that job duties sheet, if you remember that. And it wasn't like a policy in writing, it was more of a just for our own benefit, because a couple directors had questions as to what the positions did. So it was more like a handy reference guide, but it's not written in any policy.
Okay, great. So as long as it's not an official policy, we're fine. So with that in mind, I would like to move that we pay our bills.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, Director Gibson has seconded the motion. Roll call of directors. Director Garcia.
Aye.
Director Gibson.
Aye.
Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Nyman's and I. And Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried, 5-0-0. Okay, thank you, Linda. I can drop your check off after I go to Director Kelling's house tonight.
That would be wonderful. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay, moving on to number 11, discussion vote on pipeline replacement project. I think, is there anything that we need to say on this at this point? I think that was just on there. I think we should just table this one. So I'll entertain a motion that we table number 11 till the next meeting.
Yeah, I think we add it on there because we do have that technical, wait, is this?
That's I think that's I think that's a separate one that Dave is looking at and Dee was gonna, according to our ad hoc committee, Dee was going to revisit the numbers and try to give Dave better numbers to see if we could go for some assistance on that.
See, I believe we could table that whole number 11.
Okay, I'll move to table 11 until our planning meeting.
Okay, do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, Director Garcia has seconded. Roll call of directors. Garcia?
Aye.
Director Gibson?
Aye.
Director Kelling?
Aye.
Director Nyman's an aye. Director Schoenberg?
Aye.
Okay, now, on to number 500, motion carried. Sorry about that. I'm getting a little verklempt tonight. Okay, number 12, discussion vote on tenant agreement. Go ahead, Tiffany.
So we finally did get this back from the attorney. It was completely written from them. The only thing we added was all the way on top where it says office use only, new district provided account number. We added that, we added the mailing address and phone number so we could have contact information. So the rest of that, if you want to read through it.
Is that this?
That is this one.
Oh.
And this is
I have one
for,
question.
Director Kelly.
The title of it, I think we should separate the two districts and put it down on the other line and put down district occupant agreement for service. You see what I'm talking about, Tiffany?
so you want the
Fraser Park
first
Public
line,
Utility District occupant.
direct district occupant, but we can, I can change the lines on that. That's no problem.
Yeah, so if you put Fraser Park Public Utility District at the top and then direct district occupant agreement for service
The
underneath
second
that.
line.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay, I can make that change.
We just need a line in there.
Yeah, okay. Anything else?
I had seen somewhere there was so where it says with respect to the following, I believe it should be a colon instead of a period. It's the first paragraph, the end of the first paragraph.
Okay.
If there's no other changes, I entertain a motion to approve the tenant agreement with the amendments or the possibility of typos and corrections.
I will move that we
Director Gibson.
Director Gibson. I will move that we accept the tenant agreement with the corrections added and any typos that we haven't got later.
Okay, do I hear a second on that?
I'll second that.
Okay, Director Garcia has seconded that. Roll call of directors. Director Garcia.
Aye.
Director Gibson.
Aye.
Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Nyman's an aye. Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Okay, the ayes have it. Motion carried 500. On to number 13. Discussion vote on raising the notice posting fee.
Okay, give me 1 second. I left my notes on my desk. Almost there.
Yeah, almost there.
I am tired.
Me too.
yes.
I would like to, oh,
Okay,
sorry. I would like to take this time to say how much I miss Tiffany taking care of us as well as she does.
Absolutely.
My notebook on my desk is split all over my dining room, and it's a nightmare. Thank you, Tiffany.
I miss our notebooks, Tiffany.
Aw. Thank you, though. Okay, I just had to pick up the email from the attorney. So this is what he said about the door hang notice fee. In the absence of specific authorization to charge or increase the posting fee, we think the district can charge the fee pursuant to Public Utility Code Section 16461, which states that a district may acquire, construct, own, operate, control, or use within or without or partly within and partly without the district works for supplying its inhabitants with light, water, power, heat, and may do all things necessary or convenient to the full exercise of the powers granted in this article. And so that was the code. He said the fee being charged by the district does not fall under Prop 218 because it is not property related charge or assessment incidental to ownership of property. We think the fee falls under Prop 26, but the Prop 26 procedures do not apply. Prop 26 exempts from its definition of taxes any fee, quote, imposed, imposed for a specific government service or product provided directly to the payer that is not provided to those not charged, end quote. Prop 26 does require, this should sound familiar, that the fee charged by the local agency not exceed the reasonable cost for providing the specific service, just like our reconnection fee. In light of the foregoing, we suggest the district have a record of the costs associated with providing the notice, e.g. mileage, staff time, wages, cost of printing, etc. And as Alan advised you over the phone, if the notice is being posted under Article Division 3 of the policy, the district should not charge a fee for providing the 5-day notice before discontinuing the service, because this notice is required by the statute. So basically, no notice posting fees if they're on a payment plan is what he was talking about. So if we were to do all that, he said we recommend the district adopt a resolution according to change its policy to increase the fee for the door hang notice. And then they're willing to do it, or we could draft it and they can review it. So we've got the same issue that we do with the reconnection fee, is under Prop 26, no fee can exceed the reasonable cost of service, so you have to have backup proof as to your charge.
Which would probably be just like the other fee, so as far as time,
What is our current charge?
$25 to post right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, $25, so we'll have to reduce that.
Well,
15?
the interesting thing is Prop 26 was passed in 2010, and any fees in existence before Prop 26 was passed is considered grandfathered in.
So we need to just leave it alone.
But I don't think the $25 came in until after that.
We're not sure. We think it was implemented in 2010. So now it's what came first, the chicken or the egg.
See,
so they're really close together.
In 2010, I think it was $15 in 2010, and then it was increased to $25 at a later date. Because when I started here 11 years ago in 2009, we didn't have a fee, and we would post a couple hundred. Then you guys put a fee on it, and I believe that first fee was $15, and then at a later date, you raised it to $25.
So can we go back and research when it was approved, because it would be in our board minutes, correct?
No, see, Alan asked me the same question. I reviewed minutes, I reviewed resolutions, I've reviewed policies, and nowhere that I personally have any record did I find where that came from and when it happened. I couldn't find it in minutes. All I found was an old list of rates and fees where that seemed to have increased. But I don't have a proof, I don't have a resolution. There's no resolution that instituted that fee. So we were a little bit short on information there as to where it came from.
We've done a resolution, we would have,
I can't hear you, Director Schoenberg.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I had to plug in my phone, so I'm tethered to the wall right now. We had a vote on that as far as the actual fee schedule.
How you feeling?
No, not that I could find. I could only see where the fee schedule changed, but also keep in mind I'm dependent on the records that I have in my office, and some of the record keeping back then was a little bit spotty. It could exist, it could have been done, but I don't have any paperwork that shows that.
I'm hearing a second conversation. Is there? Sorry, I'm having trouble hearing. I know we were having issues at that point with our minutes as far as getting them done in a timely manner, so it probably just wasn't, it dropped off the minutes.
Yeah.
So I would say that we should probably retain the $15 fee.
It's 25.
It's 25 currently.
But we can't prove that 25 was voted on before that.
Well, what she's saying is, in essence, if we can't prove that we did not change it after 2010, we can retain that. Which we can, I just checked my computer, I cannot find anything going back to that time frame.
I mean, I can try to research it also because I have some old minutes, but I would say that we should try to retain it, and then unless I'll go back and look at what I have for 2010 that I have in my email account on Google Drive and see if I can find it. But
so you're saying we should just keep it at what it is, table it until a later date?
and I will look and see if I have any other minutes that you might not, that Tiffany might not have, but if I don't, then
So,
there's nothing to say either way.
so I just would say that we should put this on our regular meeting for in May to revisit it.
I'm good with that.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay. All right, on to number 14. Discussion vote on continuing with modified services and procedures as adopted March 19th, 2020. Tiffany.
Well, I would just like to move, unless we need to do something else, I would like to move that we continue for the time being and revisit this at our next regular meeting.
This? No.
I'll second that.
No.
Hold on.
No, hold on. Just stop for a second.
Oh, Cassandra found some.
We just got new information from the front desk from Cassandra related to the fees.
In 2011, it was still $15, the posting fee was.
So that means that by law we'll have to reduce it from 25 to 15.
Not necessarily.
No?
There's a little bit of a catch that if it's been in the books long enough and nobody's protested it, the statute of limitations may just run it out and leave it as it is.
Okay, so
unless we want to revisit it and lower it.
Maybe we should revisit it in May, like you were gonna say. Sorry for the interruption.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna revisit this in May, and you can check that out more, Tiffany. Okay. Director Schoenberg, this is we need just a vote to continue this until that we need to continue doing the policy.
There's a change.
Oh, there's a change.
Yeah, on number 14, I included it in your packet. Number 3, I suggested a change. Before, we said, if you look at it, this decision will be revisited at each subsequent board meeting. But no discontinuation of water service has since become an executive order. So it's not our choice anymore, and it's not the board's vote. So I put at the beginning of number 3 just to add per executive order N-42-20, and then to drop off this decision will be revisited.
Well, part of the modified services are also the closing the front office to customers walk in and all that stuff
Yeah,
too.
that'll
So.
stay. I'm just changing number
Yeah.
3.
I'm sorry, I did read that, so can I remove it, although it was a second to my motion, but I'd like to move that we, accept and go forward with the changes in response to the COVID-19 virus with the, amendments made by Tiffany, and that we carry on that response to that policy until and revisit it at our next regular meeting in May.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Director Kelly has seconded. A roll call of directors. Director Garcia.
Aye.
Director Gibson.
Aye.
Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Nyman's and I. Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Okay, 5-0-0, motion carried. Okay, on to number 16, review and approve meeting minutes for 3/12, 3/19, and 3/26 of the planning meeting and the 3/26 special meeting.
No, I'm confused. Did we actually vote on 14? So there's 14 and there's 15, so we just did 15, but we never really.
Okay, well we actually did 15
And you did 14.
and
We did
14 at the same time.
Well,
Right.
You included that in your motion because we just,
Right.
yeah, so yeah, 14 and 15 were one motion and that's done. So we're on to reviewing the minutes, number 16.
Okay, so I read 3/12/2020 and I did not see anything that needed to be amended.
Okay, so do I'll entertain a motion? If no one else has found anything.
I read it, and I did not find any mistakes either.
So,
Give me 14 seconds since I don't have the wording in front of me.
Absolutely.
If you have the minutes, it's in quite a few.
It's on the first one on the last page.
Okay, I move that we accept the minutes for Thursday, March the 12th, that, with the possibility for additional amendments for typos or other errors that we may not have caught or that may need to be corrected.
I'll second that motion.
okay, Director Schoenberg has seconded that motion. Roll call of directors. Director Garcia.
Would you check if Steve O is there? I know I missed one.
You were absent, so you must abstain.
Okay. I'm abstaining, thank you.
Okay, Director Gibson,
Yay.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Nyman's and I, Director Schoenberg. Okay, motion carried, 4-0-1 abstention. Okay, on to Thursday, March 19th, 2020.
I have read through this and I didn't find any errors. This is Rebecca Gibson. I would like to make a motion.
Okay,
We accept the minutes for March 19th, 2020.
I'll second that.
okay.
I gotta do the wording again.
Oh,
19th, the possibility for additional amendments for typos or other errors that we may not have caught or that may need to be corrected. Thank you.
Okay, Director Garcia, you gonna second that?
Affirmative.
Okay, Director Garcia has seconded. Okay, roll call of directors. Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Gibson. We're in the middle of a
Aye.
vote. Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelling. You-
I abstain.
Okay, Director Nyman's and I, Director Schoenberg.
Hi, sorry, I gotta.
Okay, motion carried 5-0-0. Excuse me.
4-0.
I mean 4-0-1, one abstention. Okay, so now we're on to, regular planning minutes for Thursday, March 26, 2020.
And I didn't read it through yet. The last two, I didn't read them through.
That's the only one I did not read either. Did the other directors read that?
I read through them, but I'm not the punctuation type.
That's why we love you.
Can I,
Well,
while we're reading that, can we move on to the 3/26/2020, which I did read through, and that one was fine?
Okay, okay, when we move on to the special meeting minutes for Thursday,
okay.
would you like to make a motion, Director Schoenberg?
If Director Gibson read that one?
No, I didn't read this one. I didn't read the last two.
Okay, so I would like to move that we approve the special meeting minutes for 3/26/2020 with the wording that we normally put on there because I don't have it in front of me. It does not need amendment,
I got it.
except for typos.
Okay, do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, roll call of directors. Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Nyman's and I, Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried 5-0-0. So now let's take a minute and take a look at these, the minutes for regular planning minutes for March 26th.
Okay.
I don't see any problems with that minutes. Let me know when you're done.
Tiffany, I'll do the same thing. You let me know when they're ready to sign and I'll come down and sign them.
Yes, that worked out great, thank you.
Okay. O'clock and all is well.
Oh, we gotta go outside and howl.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm missing it.
Is it still snowing up there?
We are in Lake of the Woods. We are the Woods.
Is this director?
No, it's not snowing at the moment, no. It did snow most of the day.
Wow. Got any on the ground that sticks?
Yeah,
Okay,
there's some on the ground, but it didn't.
Excuse me.
It hasn't really
Excuse
accumulated.
me. Are we done reading the minutes, so we can approve this and finish this? How are you doing, Director Schoenberg? How much more do you need?
Well, I have issues with it. I couldn't pull it up. I'm not by my computer because my phone died, so I had to plug it in. So I either get the phone or I get the computer, and it's too hard for me to read on my email.
Yeah.
I know I had it in the packet, but I stuck the packet someplace too.
Okay. Has the other directors finished reading? Is the director have any changes? Did they see anything wrong?
Gibson,
Director
I will
Gibson.
make a motion that we approve the minutes. I didn't find any errors.
Okay.
Amazing Tiffany. And I will move that we approve the minutes. And
The regular
I
meeting.
lost that page again. So I approve again with the possibility that we will find some typos.
Director Gibson, you have to say
We'll
regular planning meeting minutes.
Oh, the regular planning meeting for Thursday, March 25th. Thank you, guys. So should I just restate the whole thing?
Yeah, go ahead and restate the whole thing, please.
Okay, I move that we approve the minutes for the March 26th regular planning meeting. I didn't find any errors, so it's with the possibility for any typos or errors that we may not have noticed.
Okay, do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Director Garcia seconds that. Okay, roll call of directors. Director Garcia.
Aye.
Director Gibson.
Aye.
Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Nyman's and I. Director Schoenberg.
I wasn't able to finish reading it.
Okay, so motion carried 4-0-1, one abstention. Okay, on to 17, discussion vote on future agenda items.
We already logged that to death. We're good.
Does anybody have anything else to add that we haven't already added?
Negative.
Okay,
No.
with that, I would entertain a motion that we adjourn.
I will move that we adjourn. Gibson?
Okay, do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, Director Kelling has seconded it. Roll call of directors. Garcia.
Aye.
What,
Oh, sorry.
what's that?
I just was, so you could note the time.
I will do, okay. I do that after with a roll call. Director Garcia, aye.
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Nyman's an aye. Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Okay, meeting adjourned at 8:07.